Alright, Shalom Akim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, before we get started, giving all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone that have taught us His truth and that rule well. And peace and blessings go out to the hopeful members of the elect, scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, that are in the hopes of receiving salvation and mercy during the time of Jacob's trouble, and that are worshiping the Heavenly Father in sincerity, in spirit, and in truth. Alright? Now in this lesson I have a couple videos that I came across this week on social media, specifically TikTok, alright, where you have a lot of information coming out that a lot of people, don't feel America as that slogan that Trump had, made, make America great again. They're not feeling that set resolution that he told the people he would bring. If anything, they're facing the contrary. All right, the cost of living via this war that Trump started with Iran is doing nothing more but raising that price, man. All right, people are living off of paycheck by paycheck, damn near. All right. People got to get 2-3 jobs, all right? They got to start hitting up their family members and seeing if they can move in with them. People right now are in a position where they're feeling the bitterness of what being in America is truly all about, man, And for us brothers and sisters, we thank the Lord, man. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because this is nothing more but us understanding that the end is nigh at hand, all right? As it tells us in 2 Esdras 14 and 17, alright, this is in the GNT, as the world grows older and weaker, alright, the evils that will come upon its people will multiply, alright, and that's exactly what you see happening, man, based upon the financial estate of where people are at right now, alright. The high class within America is a very small percentage, alright, whereas when it comes down to the middle class, all right, that in itself is pretty minimal as well. But when you look at the low class, that number is very high, man. And because of that, people are in an outcry where they're asking for some kind of aid, but this country is doing nothing more but the contrary. All those, Federal Reserve notes that you pay as far as your taxes, all of that is going into a war that you have no dealings of wanting to be a part of. The money that you put within this country are going into set systems that don't aid the set poverty of what people are going through right now, man. All right, and this is all in the conclusion of what it means to be under the authority of a wicked person, man. And that wicked, as we understand according to the scriptures, is Esau Edom. All right, the so-called white man who has created this, horrible way of living, man. All right. And as a matter of fact, before I play these videos, I'm gonna get this real quick in Proverbs 29 and 2. All right, oldie but goodie. All right, a scripture that's speaking loud and clear right now. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All right. But I thought that this was a country governed in the name of God. All right. I thought the little hats were the true people of the Heavenly Father. If this was the case, society should be in an uplifting spirit right now, man. But that's not the case due to the fact of the wicked being the ones that bear rule. As it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And this is nothing more but the set topic of conversation that everybody has right now, man. Reading in the NLT, it says, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, they groan. And this is going to be something that continues to multiply and escalate. All right. Again, within these, straits that Iran is closing, like the one in Hormuz. And if I'm not mistaken, Iran just closed 4 other straits. All right, and within them closing all these straits, they're pretty much negotiating with the other countries that are within those regions to, pretty much make some kind of agreement where they're going to allow their shipping ports to come in and come out, but they can't let out or let in shipping ports or cargo ships that go to America, man. All right. So what do you think's going to happen over here in this country where they get a lot of their oil from that region of the world? There's going to be a scarcity in gas, all right, along with diesel. And when it comes down to the logistics system, all right, oil is the said bloodline that keeps that system going. Without it, you're not going to have the ability to go to your grocery store and buy the goods that you always buy. All right, you're not going to have the ability to go out to the mall because everything is going to skyrocket due to those straits being closed, man. All right, of course, people right now don't feel anything. All right, but that's due to the fact of these ports that are within America still having some kind of sustenance. All right, as time continues to be prolonged, all right, and those little cargo containers still have, start running out of imports and whatnot. That's when people are going to start feeling, the effect of what these straits are bringing. All right, and that's a scarcity of goods, man. All right, there's been a lot of talks about, this month coming, all right, September, there's going to be a lot of hell kicking in. And the beloved Elder Ariala just did a lesson. I didn't watch the full thing. I watched the first 5 minutes. All right. But he was going into the fact that there's a diesel shortage. All right. So we'll see what happens, man. But we're in the time where people are coming to the understanding that America is not how it is. And it looks like it's not going to come back to how it was in the past, man. All right. And this is all according to prophecy. All right. So without further ado, let's play these videos. The first one that I actually want to play is the one about gas. All right. Just yesterday, I'm not sure if this was only in the state of Virginia, but there was pretty much a law.
If you need gas, now's the time.
All right, where they put gas at a pause from being taxed. All right. So the fact that now that's off, you're gonna start seeing the price at the gas station to be up a couple cents, maybe even $1. Out here in the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to get premium, it's $6.19 a gallon. And that's without the tax, man. We'll see how things escalate. All right, but given the fact of these straits now affecting America, things are gonna look too good, man. All right, so let's listen up.
To get to the pump. That's because the gas tax that ends Thursday at 11:59 p.m. So that means Friday you would see
and this is, as it says right here, 3 days ago. All right.
Those prices jump. Exactly how much will depend on the price of fuel at the time, but it could be around 60 cents per gallon.
We'll just see how it goes with the war. But it's going to take away money from other areas of our budget.
There's nothing we can do but just ride this roller coaster we're riding.
Yeah, these prices, they got to come down with these prices. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense because common folk don't make that much money.
Okay, everything you all said.
Yep, and the only expectation that these people have is for things, case in point in this war, to de-escalate, But according to prophecy, that's not going to be the case, man. All right? Things are just getting started within that war. So that expectation that you people have is vain. All right? When shit hits the fan, you people are going to be in complete straits, man. As it tells us in Luke. Let's get that real quick. 21 and 25, you're going to be in perplexity. All right? Confused and also being in a state where you're without resources. All right? This is Luke 21 and 25, and this is in the red letter, so this is Yahushua speaking. All right? And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. All right? And there's been, non-stop, what do you call it, man? Accounts where people are seeing chariots all over the place, man. People are seeing two suns. The Heavenly Father's making it known that His presence is here, man. All right? It says, and upon the earth distress of nations, all right, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Now let's look up the word for this, the Greek word for this word perplexity, all right. It takes us back to the Strong's G640, aporia, all right. The state of one who is in perplexity, which perplexity means confusion. Just a quick Google definition. I guess there's an AI called Perplexity now. Shit. Perplexity is a noun that means a state of deep confusion, bewilderment, or a complicated and tangled situation. And that's going to be a lot of you people, man, that still trust that America is going to bounce back and be how it was 10, 15 years ago. All right? You're sadly mistaken, man. So now let's go into the root word of this Greek aporia. It takes us back to the Strong's G639, aporeo. All right? And when you go down to the biblical usage, it says to be without resources. All right? To be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt. All right? And this is ultimately the estate of where a lot of you people are in, man. For you people that voted for Trump thinking that he was going to really, be a man about his word of helping you low-class citizens, you people are embarrassed. And you're in doubt of this country really being for the people. All right? It says not to know which way to turn. All right? A lot of you people don't know whether to vote for Republicans or Democrats at this point, man. All right? And that's how it always has been. You know, you people are like a swinging pendulum where one term you're a fucking Republican and then the next term coming you're a Democrat. You know? Or you're a goddamn liberal. You know? Going down under the Strong's definition, it says from a compound of G1 as a negative particle and the base of Strong's G4198, to have no way out. An example, be at a loss mentally. And that's going to be you people, man. And I can already see it. You know? Just, for me, myself, I work in a lot of households and, I work for a lot of Edomites and they're diehard crackers that love the hell out of Trump, man. I'm talking about they have this nigga's book in their living room, portrayed as being the number one thing that you see in their house. You go into the rooms, they got, what do you call it, man? I guess, for the lack of a better term, they have Trump paraphernalia where they got shirts, mugs with this nigga's face on it, bobby heads, MAGA hats, the whole nine, man. A lot of people that do and buy shit like that are in this case right now, at loss mentally. They may not, show it at first because they don't want to look stupid, but deep down they know that this dude Trump is leading them down a life, all right, where they're going to have to suffer a lot, all right? And just the other day, the beloved elder Amawan, all right, one of the brothers out here in the main camp, out in Lancaster, he had posted a quote from a rep called Dan Crenshaw, telling Americans that facing high prices to stop whining, get a job, and eat ramen. All right. So these higher ups and these people that have some kind of say so, all right, that are making your laws, that are making your decrees, they don't give a damn about what you're going through, man. All right. So things are going to continue to get worse. All right? So let's go back and let this finish playing.
Governor Mike Braun enacted the first tax suspension back in April. Another extension, though, would require lawmakers to hold a special session.
Yep. So now let's hit this video. All right? It says, you can't afford to breathe tears and regret from Ohio Trump supporters, Salakia. And if, for brothers that know anything about Ohio, that's a predominant, Edomite state, you know, where you got a lot of redneck Edomites and a lot of sundown towns, all right? I know that one comedian, Dave Chappelle, you know, he actually grew up there, and now since Jake got money, he bought a bunch of property in a white neighborhood, you know? And them Edomites are mad, boy, but let's play this. Salakia.
Does America feel great again?
No, not at all. You know, I can get laid off tomorrow, then I'm pretty much homeless. Because, you know, you can't save now. Every dollar you have has to go to gas, groceries, bills, rent.
Does America feel great again?
Not in the way everyone wanted, with gas prices, and you can't afford to breathe at this point.
What does it feel like to be living in these conditions right now, in these economic conditions right now?
Hurt, very hurt. I try to, sorry, I cried. I try to do a lot for my kids, and I can't do much.
And you can see that she's on the brink of just breaking down in front of this dude, man. You know, people are feeling it. A lot of these people that you see in public, they may present themselves as being clean. They may present themselves as not having any worries. But deep down, they're stressed the fuck out. Alright? And just like the beloved Elder Malcolm had said in one of his latest lessons, a lot of you people are like ducks swimming in a pond. On the outward appearance, you know, you just look like a duck cruising through the water. You know, not a care in the world. But when you look under the water and you look at the legs of that duck, he is working his ass off to keep with the current of that water, man. Paddling his ass off. That's you people, man. You know? Monday through Saturday, probably Sunday too, you're working your ass off. Alright? But once you clock out, you play a persona to show that you are alright. But deep down, you are catching hell. Just like these Edomites are testifying, man. Alright? You thought Trump was going to make things better? Well, they're not. Alright? So real quick, let's get a couple precepts. This is Jeremiah 6:14. It says, "They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace." Alright? And a lot of you fucking Jakes voted for this Edomite to get back into his seat of presidency. Alright? A lot of you Jakes remembered how life was when he was in his first term. You know, as brothers have testified, things were a lot cheaper back in those times. You know, and they thought the same thing was going to happen with voting this nigga back into office. But guess what? That's not the case. You know, you thought this dude was going to bring peace, but he's bringing the complete opposite of that. Alright? And that's turmoil. Let's get this other one in Isaiah 36. Matter of fact, yeah, we'll get this one. Isaiah 36:6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt," which America is the modern day Egypt, as it is written in Revelation 11 chapter, right, when it describes the great city being Mystery Babylon, aka America. Alright, it characterizes it as a spiritual Sodom, which we know that's a pretty obvious answer as to why the Lord characterized it as a spiritual Sodom, and Egypt. Alright? The Hebrew word for Egypt is Matazarium, which means bondage. Alright? And America is nothing more but a big prison for you people. Alright? The only difference is that you think you have rights. You may have liberty. Alright? But in the grand scheme of things, you aren't free. Alright? As the beloved Apostle Gabar always brings out, man, the simple fact of you having a birth certificate shows that you belong to somebody. Alright? The simple fact of you having an ID, alright, shows that you don't have any liberty. Okay? It says, whereon, I'll read it from the top again. "Thou trustest in the staff of Egypt, this broken reed." I'm sorry. Let me read that again. Thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is King Pharaoh of Egypt to all that trust in him. Alright? And that's what's going to be the result of you people that believe in America, man. You know? Esau's making a hellish condition in the earth so that you have no other choice. But in order for you to get back into that lovey-dovey world that America once gave you people, you have to conform yourself to the way of how this beast system is moving, and that's taking the mark of the beast, man, which, if you don't know by now, it is the RFID chip. Alright? And that's ultimately what society is being acclimated into. Alright? The other day you had Elon Musk pretty much make an open statement that in the next 5-6 years, in 2031, alright, there's going to be an output of 1 billion robots. Alright? And because of that, 90% of the American population is going to be unemployed. Meaning that there's going to be no work for you. And because of that, there has to be a new solution as far as where you get some kind of income. Where is that income going to come through? A biometric technocracy. Alright? Everything is lining up, Akim. Call Allah Yahweh. We are almost out of here. Alright? So let's finish this video, and then I have one more precept, and then that'll be it for this quick lesson. Alright?
It's hard, especially as a father, because you ain't got that extra cash to go and spoil your kids. So it's pretty difficult.
The middle class is definitely being affected. Yeah. Low class might as well, crawl in a hole because they can't afford anything. Drill, baby, drill just didn't go, I don't think.
You still can't beat inflation, no matter what. Well, it seems we never catch up, no matter what. We're always behind 8 ball.
Does America feel...
Yep. And I was reading the comments of this video, and there was someone that said, they voted for this but only intended for black and brown people to be affected. They voted to be racist, not poor. Now we all black, baby. So you see that people are seeing that the white man is starting to face these curses pursuing the Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Alright? Their bag is now starting to get a couple holes. But for you, Jake, shit, that bag you got has bigger holes now. So, either way it looks, if you trust in America, you are in a position where you are catching hell right now. Alright? So let's get this precept and we'll get out of here. This is Isaiah 24 and 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Alright? The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Alright? They shall not drink wine with the song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Alright? The city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. Reading that one in the NLT, it says, mobs gather in the streets crying out for wine. Alright, which within this precept, wine is a form of looking at it within the sense of, going back to the heydays where America was something that brought you mirth, something that brought you, happiness. Alright? People are yearning for that again, man. But the expectation of what they're receiving is a dark future. Alright? It says, joy has turned to gloom, gladness has been banished from the land. Alright? The city is left in ruins, its gate battered down. Alright? And that's... Come on, man. This is what society is going to succumb to very soon. Alright? It already is. But a lot of these Edomites are getting fed the hell up. Alright? And as they have the right to bear arms, And as they know the history of the country, where they had certain rebellions like the Bacon Rebellion, you know, the Tea Tax Party, Esau's gonna get down. All right. So we'll see how things happen, man. But this is all everything that we're experiencing. Because us brothers, we're catching the hell too. You know, that check, man, goes down the drain in a snap of a fucking finger. All right. But the difference that we have in comparison to the world is that we have hope in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. The Lord is going to deliver us in these times and provide for us in these times. All right. But as for you people that hope in this country, thinking that it's going to bounce back, thinking that it's going to, meet you in the middle, you are in for a very rude awakening, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson for you, brothers and sisters. As always, giving our praise into our power. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the elect. Shalom.